Hey, everybody, welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Hannah Burr. Good evening, Hannah. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening. I am well, and how are you?
Doing good. Doing good. This is the final episode of 2022. What's your New Year's plans? Got any plans?
Not really. Probably going to meet up with some friends for a trivia night.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah, we got a bunch of games. At least my girls got a bunch of games for Christmas. So I think we got some people coming over. We're going to play some of those. And I'm talking about some crazy games. There's this one, I just got to say it. There's this one called Throw Burrito. Have you heard about
what?
this game?
What? What?
Yeah. It's called it literally is called Throw Burrito. It comes with these really soft, cushiony burritos.
Okay.
And it's like a card game. And at some point, it's really fast paced. And you get a certain set of cards and you lay it down and you say brawl or war or something like that, and people have to grab the burritos real fast and throw them at each other. It's really funny and it's really hilarious. So
Okay.
we actually been playing it pretty often over the last few days. So anyway, we've got games like that. So we're gonna go crazy tomorrow night.
That sounds like fun. I mean, we got a game too. We got a Clue game that's D&D themed.
Oh,
So,
nice,
but
nice.
nothing as crazy as throw burrito. I mean,
Throw burrito. I'm telling you, Hannah, look it up. It's pretty crazy.
okay.
All right. Well, hope everybody had some fun and enjoy their holidays, their Christmas, and we're here at the end of this year. We're going to be kind of talking. This is kind of a tradition in Inside the Force. The last episode of the year, we look back at the year and kind of what our favorite moments were, what memories do we have from the past year. And the next week when we come back, it'll be the new year, and then we'll talk about our expectations for the year and what we look forward to seeing the most in the upcoming 2023. So we'll get to that. First off, of course, thanks to our patrons that have, we just started Patreon this year, so we thank those that have joined. Hopefully we can get some more in the coming year. Got some more content that we're working on. I'm actually in the middle of redoing the website, trying to launch that by next week as well. So really want to get the ground running on this stuff next year. But we do want to thank all those that have stuck with us this year. Appreciate all of that. So in saying that, news-wise, we really don't have anything besides really just reminding you that the new season of Bad Batch starts on Wednesday. I've been going back, and me and Sam, my daughter, have been going back and rewatching season 1, and I'm telling you, man, it is a really good show.
It is. It's really
Right? Because in fact, I think I've only seen it. I watched each episode 2 or 3 times because I was doing, obviously, Inside the Force, and then we were doing The Mandalore, which we were doing deep dives into it. So, but beyond that, I haven't seen it since it aired. I don't know how many times have you seen the season 1?
I think I've seen it twice,
Yeah.
but not recently. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it
no.
recently.
And it didn't debut. It debuted May 4th of 2021. So it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years here soon. So it's been a while. So yeah, and then watching these episodes kind of back to back now, it's so much easier to kind of get the feeling of, especially the first 3 or 4 episodes. It's really neat seeing that, seeing them fully kind of slowly embrace Omega. You never really got that feeling. I did kind of week to week, and seeing it kind of back to back, and it's really neat. And we actually just watched the episode where Wrecker goes off on him His chip kind of
Mm.
kicks in, which is really cool. So anyway, for patrons, I am going to be doing some recap episodes, recap videos on the episodes here this weekend. So I'll post those on there because it's really cool to go back and watch these. I know we're talking about that probably next week, but what's your excitement level for Bad Batch? Is
Pretty
it
excited.
pretty high?
Pretty
Yeah,
excited. I'm excited to
yeah,
see where the story's going to go differently. You know,
totally.
so that's what.
And I think they've done a good job of hiding it. I don't think we know exactly where this is going.
And that's what I like so much about it is that we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, because I was looking at the poster, and the poster is literally just them. There's nothing else on it. There's a location on there that we haven't seen before, so I'm assuming that plays a part in what we're doing and what they're doing. But like, I who knows? We're obviously going to have Rex on there and Cody's on there.
Mm-hmm.
That they're going to still have to deal with Crosshair. And then there's been promises and articles that we're going to see some other familiar characters come in. Obviously we saw a shot of Bail Organa in the trailer. There's a shot of Palpatine, stuff like that. So we'll see. It all starts on Wednesday with a 2-episode premiere, which is awesome. So looking forward to that. And then as we get close to the year here, just a quick look at the publication releases here. Next week, finally, the High Republic, The Battle of Jeddah, the audio drama drops. That's January 3rd. Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars, the book in between the games, March 7th. High Republic Cataclysm, April 4th. High Republic Path of Vengeance, May 2nd. And then Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade, July 18th. Comics wise, this past week, if you went to your comic book store the last Wednesday of the year, you got treated to a lot of comics that came out. Star Wars wise, Aphra and Chewbacca, Han Solo and Chewbacca, High Republic, Yoda. Next week, you've got on January 4th, you've only got Star Wars 30. A week later, on January 11th, Vader 30, Mandalorian number 7, High Republic number 4. January 18th, Bounty Hunters 30, Han Solo and Chewbacca number 9. And then on the 25th, Aphra 28, Yoda number 3, High Republic, The Blade number 2. So as you can see with the publications going into next year, they're kind of sticking with Star Wars and Vader. Bounty Hunters and Aphra are kind of their main comic lines, and then you've got Mandalorian, and then you've got High Republic and Han Solo and Chewbacca that are somewhat limited. So, so lots of comics, lots of books coming. More focused on the High Republic. It seems like there's a lot of High Republic still coming out in Phase 2 here, first part of the year. So, okay. That's really it. So we're just going to kind of talk about 2022. What kind of our feelings. I got a few questions we can go through here. Just to kind of summarize a little bit based on, because Lucasfilm actually does this too. They kind of make a list of like, here's what, the best of 2022. So I'll run through this here and kind of refresh your memory also of what it was. So kicking off the year, we got the Book of Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. It started a year ago, actually today. I think it was like it premiered the 30th of last year.
Oh, dang.
So we got, it started in 2021, but then kind of, most of it was all 2022. We got Obi-Wan Kenobi, obviously, that came out this summer. We got Andor that just wrapped up. We got the series Light and Magic, the Lucasfilm Industrial Light and Magic docuseries, which was really good. I don't know if you ever saw that yet.
I haven't had a chance.
Oh, man, it's so good. Tales of the Jedi. Star Wars Celebration finally came back in May in California. We got a Lego series, Star Wars Summer Vacation. And then, of course, big announcements that came out for Ahsoka, Mandalorian, The Bad Batch, which premieres next week. Attack of the Clones hit its 20th anniversary this year. High Republic Phase 2 kicked off. You got novels like Princess and the Scoundrel, Shadow of the Sith. Padawan, Obi-Wan Padawan came out. Brotherhood came out. Queen's Hope came out. Yoda started his comic series. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser kicked off. There's been a lot of announcements of the games. Nothing to really get excited about because no games came out, but not anything really meaningful anyway. John Williams turned 90 this year. Fantastic.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Acolyte cast was revealed, obviously, for that. So those were kind of the main big things that happened.
Just a few
in 2022. So, I don't know, Hannah. I guess looking back, if someone said, I'm saying it right now, 2022, what from Star Wars do you remember the most right now? Like, what's fresh in your mind right now?
Andor is very fresh. Moments in Kenobi are fresh. Queen's Hope, Brotherhood, a lot of the books that came out this year are fresh. I think the one thing that's fresh to me is I didn't realize that Book of Boba Fett is that recent, and I still have not finished it. So that's a failure on
it's
my...
almost a year. It's not really that recent.
It's a failure on my behalf. Tales of the Jedi was really, really good. I just think overall there were... when you put it into perspective like that, there definitely was a lot. And there's a lot to try to catch up on, especially with the High Republic just constantly bringing out new stuff in addition to everything else. It doesn't... I feel like throughout the year it didn't feel as overwhelming as it did when you just read that list.
Yeah.
A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Yeah, what about you?
Well, I think, I was, when the year started, I remember thinking the thing that I'm most looking forward to was Obi-Wan Kenobi. I still couldn't, I still to this day can't wrap my head around that we actually got Ewan McGregor back to do Obi-Wan. And then, of course, Hayden coming back and playing Vader. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 20-something years since, those movies. I mean, Attack of the Clones was 20th anniversary this year. So it's just amazing that they were able to do that and tell that story with the Inquisitors and, still it just, with Leia. I mean, that whole thing with Leia was incredible. So it's just that to me was still one that just fulfilled my expectations as far as what I wanted to see this year. But of course, the big surprise definitely was Andor. I kind of felt like it was going to be good, as it got closer, and I felt like, yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing this, but it ended up being a lot better than I expected, and makes me, want that season 2 even worse. But I think overall, I think it was a good year. I think we didn't get a movie again, which was frustrating. I mean, it's been 3 years now, which is tough to swallow when Star Wars was kind of built on movies.
It was, but do you think that, especially because of what Disney Plus provides, do you think we'll ever get a I'm sure we will, but do you think it's, how do I say this? Do you feel like it's almost better that Star Wars is told through TV show style, in the sense of you can go deeper into the story, you can explore all these different aspects, you can take your time with telling a story versus trying to shove everything into, a 2-hour feature?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I don't think prior to Disney Plus, when these movies were coming out, I don't think anybody ever complained or talked about the lack of building a story out like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was, yeah, I feel like we almost get spoiled a little bit from the series and being able to come week to week and, get 50-minute episodes. But I still think based on what we've seen with Andor and then what we've seen with Book of Boba Fett, and then of course Mandalorian, it's like there's still going to be a lot of fans that are critiquing the stories. You know what I mean? And so I just don't think they can rely on just telling those stories either, because you're gonna get the reason, and I believe the reason why they stopped making the movies is because they were getting criticized. They felt like they were getting criticized a lot by what they were putting in the movies,
Right.
how the movies were doing, even though they made a ton of money. But as they start getting criticisms for the shows, of which they have been, it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to stop making shows? Or are you going to stop making, you know what I mean? It's like, you have to put content out there.
Yeah.
I think that they need to just focus on, I think we're hearing it on the Marvel side a little bit, is quantity versus quality,
Yep.
or quality versus quantity.
Yep. Exactly.
Let's focus on really good stuff and not as ton of stuff that's okay. And unfortunately, I think that's where they're going to go with the movies. Is I don't think they're going to put as often out there, but they're going to try to put really good ones out there. But again, what happens when one doesn't hit? Are you going to stop again for a long time? I don't know. That's what I'm fearing.
I guess time will tell regarding that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, right now we haven't even heard what they're going to be doing. So who knows? Who knows about that? But that's kind of where I was. That of course, right now I'm all about wanting to see live action stuff. I'm definitely into the animated stuff. So I thought we were going to get Bad Batch this year. In fact, I think we were told we were going to get Bad Batch. There was an article. There was a trailer that actually came out at Celebration that said fall of 2022. So they pushed it back. But that the animated stuff is that, at least that is really good. Me and you both are big fans of the Clone Wars, and this is basically telling that Clone Wars story just a little further. So I'm stoked about that. I was looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. So now we're not getting it until 2023. We're going to talk about that more next week and as we go. But out since, well, it's hard for you because you can't say, but a little bit. But so we got Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and Andor. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if you can't really say because you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett, but I'm sure I'm not sure if I didn't really like it. I liked it. I didn't love it. So I'm not sure you can say which of those three is kind of your favorite live action from this year.
I can say Andor, like hands down, easily.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a competition in my mind. Was Kenobi very nostalgic? Sure, but we've already talked about my feelings about how I feel like that could have been a lot better than it was.
Right.
But, it was nostalgic. It was great to see that. But I think you would say that while you did love Kenobi, you think Andor is better?
I definitely think Andor is better. Andor was a better, from top to bottom, Andor was a better series.
Yes.
I think it was better written. I think it was better acted. I think it was, I think the dialogue it was incredible. Obviously better written. I thought the direction of it was really good. It was vast. It was, you had some incredible cinematography. And to know that I was mostly all, obviously they had green screen and stuff like that, but it was all practical sets, versus the volume that Obi-Wan was shot on. That so much didn't hinder my feelings about it too much, but because the volume I feel like has done a great job of being able to do that kind of storytelling. But Obi-Wan for me was definitely, I enjoyed more of the nostalgic of it. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for Leia, it wouldn't probably been as high on my list. Like
That little girl.
yeah, I mean how that was executed, I thought that was pretty brilliant. So that's what really kind of upped that, that introducing her and just again knowing the history of her parents. I mean, it's really cool to see in those moments where she's asking about her mom and Obi-Wan's like trying to tell her. It was really cool to see, and of course, again, he was the actor that knew her. Like Ewan McGregor was in that position. It was not like he was recasted.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that are just really kind of blows your mind a little bit how they were able to accomplish that. So I really enjoyed it, but if I were to sit down right now and you were to say, watch a show from 2022, it'd be Andor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the live action series. I think that's now I would put Obi-Wan ahead of Book of Boba Fett, unfortunately. Even though Book of Boba Fett, again, there were 3 episodes in there, or maybe it was 2 episodes. I think it was 2, maybe 3, that had Mandalorian in it, and it had Ahsoka, and it had Luke. So it's like
Spoilers.
those were you haven't even seen those yet,
I
right?
haven't, but it was spoiled for me, so I'm like,
Yeah. So you do need to see those before you get into Mandalorian, obviously.
okay.
Yeah, because that's kind of important as far as I think where you find them in Mandalorian season 3. Because it's basically Mandalorian 2.5 is what Book of Boba Fett is.
Right.
Well, it's easy to say what the best animated stuff was because Tales of the Jedi came out.
Yeah. I don't think there's much of.
No, there wasn't anything really else out besides that. What about books? Where are you at on books this year?
So the books that came out, Thrawn Ascendancy, that trilogy came out last year, correct? Correct. Yeah,
This year was basically the list was Queen's Hope, Brotherhood, Padawan, The Princess and the Scoundrel, Shadow of the Sith, and then the High Republic had. It had the end of Phase 1, which we haven't gotten to yet. Really, I don't think we've read, and then the beginning of Phase 2.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Shadow of the Sith. I think
I think I am too.
Yeah, it was just so good, and Queen's Hope was also really good as well. Brotherhood, the only reason why I would give it to Shadow of the Sith over Brotherhood is because Brotherhood felt a little bit like a letdown to me. Like, I feel like it should not have been called Brotherhood, and it shouldn't have been advertised as like this book that solely focused on Obi-Wan and Anakin trying to figure out where their relationship is now, because that's not really what the book was fully about.
Right.
That wasn't the main plot. That was a plot, but that wasn't the main plot.
Right.
So Just because of that, it felt a little bit of a disappointment to me. And then Queen's Hope was good. It was good. It was great. And I loved a lot of parts of it, but I think I would have preferred Queen's Peril or Queen's Shadow over it. So it has to go to Shadow of the Sith, which is actually right there.
Right
that,
there.
That
That's
red
right.
book.
No, I definitely agree with you there. I think Shadow of the Sith was one of those just mind blown moments reading that and listening to that. Queen's Hope was a little bit of a letdown to me. I was so looking forward to that, and I think it just didn't hit as home to me as it did the other books.
Yes.
Brotherhood had its moments. Again, a good filler to know what they're referencing when they talk about Cade and Modia. That's what happens. Didn't get to Obi-Wan Padawan, so
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet either.
right. We'll have to get there someplace. And then High Republic, I haven't got into Phase 2 yet. So
We're still behind on High Republic.
yeah, I'm going to be probably behind forever until they
Yeah.
get done. And can
Until
catch
they
up, but-
take a year hiatus or something.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Shadow of Sith, I think, is hands down the best book that came out this year by far.
Yes.
Comics wise, I know we haven't kind of been up to speed week to week on those, but
Once again, just give us a year hiatus, please, comics. Just like pause. And then we'll be good.
yes, I think I can't remember did it come out all this year. I don't think it came out all this. I think it started last year. But what I've read this year, as we kind of do our Beyond the Saga show, that Crimson Reign series is really good.
I gotta read it.
Yeah, you got to read it. We got to talk about it. I have it sitting here waiting for us to talk about. That's really good. I mean, I think everybody knows by now that Kira comes back in this series fully. I mean, she comes back. She's revealed to come back in War of the Bounty Hunters, which was really good. That came out last year.
That was cool.
Yeah. So this is the second part of the trilogy that Charles Soule is writing. Hidden Empire just started, and that's kind of the conclusion of it. But Kira is back, and this is years after Solo. So she is running Crimson Dawn, and it's a whole nother part of the universe that we're exploring during the original trilogy. I mean, this is during Empire, like between Empire and Jedi. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that series is really good. The High Republic series continues to be good. Mm-hmm. We were reading that. Yeah, so we got some things to catch up on, but that's kind of the publications. Now, I will say that, well, let's just one of the questions I had. I mean, that was kind of our favorite stuff like that, but including the movies, or not, there wasn't any movies, including the TV shows and the books and the comics. Obviously, including that, but all Star Wars, because I know like me, you go to Disney a lot. So including all of Star Wars, like, do you have any kind of favorite moments of this year, including Star Wars? Like, besides, content, is there anything related?
Yeah, actually, outside of the shows, books, all of that, I'm really debating actually not saying this tip whenever you go to Disney, because then everyone's going to do it and then it's going to be shut down. So I won't necessarily share the tip, but I will say this. We, our family found ourselves in Galaxy's Edge and Batuu after the park closed. And
Yeah.
it was cleared out. There were very few people there. And so it was very cool to walk around at night, seeing everything lit up. And I think you know what tip I'm talking about. To see everything lit up and be able to take pictures of it without people there.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Like
Yep.
it's pretty spectacular.
It is. Yeah, you really get a sense of being in a whole nother world. It is, and it's gorgeous. I love the parks at night, all the parks,
Yes.
but Batu at night, yeah, there ain't nothing like it.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it. What about
I mean, and it really, I know it's not, really there, but seeing at night, seeing the Falcons sitting there, it's like, it looks like a freaking ship just sitting there and waiting to take off. And it's like, it's fantastic.
It's amazing. It's great.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to do that. I like you though. I tend to do it every time now, but the first time I experienced it was, when I went there the first time and built my lightsaber, we were the last group that at the end of the day. So obviously when we got out, there was no one there.
That's
It was closed.
nice.
Yeah, so that's when I saw it first, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome. You.
Yep. Well, it's funny because at this point during the years when there is a celebration, I would probably say celebration,
Right.
but I did not make it to celebration, which is unfortunate. If it comes back in 2024, I'm definitely going to go. But because celebration is just an incredible experience. I was fortunate enough to go to Disneyland this year. So I saw Batuu in Disneyland, and then of course I saw Batuu in Disney World again at Hollywood Studios and this year as well. So, but it's funny because I know you get this feeling too, I'm sure. But once you go there so often, it's like, it's you're familiar with it. There's nothing really new about it, right? But I'll tell you one great moment. I feel like our this year when we went is when they introduced the whole bounty hunting thing.
Yes. That
And I thought that was pretty incredible. Right? Did you guys do that much?
We didn't, but I saw so many kids running around doing it. It's just so cool.
It is. I mean, because the thing about and again, this is kind of, I don't think this is a secret, but not many people that go to Disney know this. But if you really attack, and I mean attack, when you attack the parks every day, like what we do, you basically can hit. What I mean by that is if you go when it's because most of the time they have the park opening time, and usually if you're staying on property, you can go early.
Yeah, rope
And
drop.
so, yeah, before rope drop. So if you can do that, you can knock out like so many rides that are so difficult to get on throughout the day. So Hollywood, particularly, you can, if you want to do Rise of the Resistance, everybody runs that way. So you're going to wait a little bit for that, but you can also buy it if you really want to ride it. No big deal. We usually buy it. So we go the other way. Mm-hmm. We go to Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, and you can ride those like twice because no one's there. And then you can head back and we hit Slinky and then like Toy Story Mania. And so you get the kind of high line rides later in the day right away. And so when the afternoon comes and lines are like 2 hours long, and you just need to kind of just burn some time because you're filling your lightning lanes up. That bounty hunting thing is like the perfect thing. We kind of went and kind of, you download the app and all that stuff, and you kind of figure it out, and it's Now there were some, there were some bugs. Like mine didn't work all the time, but Sam's, my daughter's did. And I'm telling you, they, to see them like they're into Star Wars, but that heightened their interest, and to learn about these different bounty hunters and walk around and find these things. It was just it was a great idea. I'm glad they did it.
Absolutely.
Because Batu was in desperate need of something like that.
And it still does. I mean, the fact that it's not like Avengers Campus where it takes place in a specific time period,
Right.
limits it. So it does need something. And it'll be cool to see what else they can think of as time goes on.
Right.
Like, I think it would be cool to have like a I don't know how you would do this, but I almost wonder if they could do like an underground droid fighting ring or something like that, where you can design your own droid and then have
Yes.
it, and then like have different droids compete against each other. I don't know. That would.
That would be cool. Yep.
So it's like it's something that could take place during that time, but it's something a little, it's not incredibly bad, but it's a little seedy.
Yes, absolutely. No, I think that's a great idea. I just think that, I do think at some point they have to change the era of that, of it. And you can easily do that and it feel the same, look the same, but then have just different people walking around. And
Yeah.
the thing about it is not many people that are into it like we are even kind of realize that, like I'm sure most people that go there, they're probably not even realizing that Vader can't walk around there because he's not alive at that point.
Right. And,
Right.
and there's a reason why because I've heard people online saying, well, why is Star Tours all the way over here? And I'm like,
Right.
because Star Tours takes place. Well, I mean, part of it could be during that timeline, but otherwise, none of it makes sense.
None of it makes sense, right? And Vader's not in Batu. He's at that, what's it called? The launch
Yeah.
bay or something like that.
Something like that. It's like,
Yeah, launch bay. It's kind of by itself now. So it's like, that's why Vader's not in Batu. So it's like, and Boba Fett now is walking around, but he's walking around in his Book of Boba Fett outfit. So that kind of raises some questions though. Like, is he, I guess he survived all the way. I don't know. See, that's the thing. They're starting to kind of mess with the canon a little bit, but I don't know. So that was a pretty good moment. And we saw, and the thing about it is when we were in Disneyland in the summer, that's when they just started having Boba Fett walk around. So we saw him on the last day. We saw Boba Fett and Fennec
nice.
walking around. So that was really neat to see. The girls were really excited about that because Fennec is one of Sam's favorite now. Mm-hmm. So she got a selfie with her.
Aww.
And, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And it is. Have you been to Disneyland?
Oh, I've been
When
not when
Galaxy's Edge?
not when Galaxy's Edge was there.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
been
it actually
there.
is a little. There's a little different. There's a little subtle, like the layout, just a tad bit different.
Okay.
It's not like the parts where the Falcon is and the droid depot and Doc Ondor's, like all that's the same. But as you go towards Rise of Resistance, like the walkway is different.
Okay.
And you know how at Hollywood you have the X-wing and the A-wing, they're kind of opposite of each other.
Yes.
At Disneyland, they're next to each other.
Okay.
So it's slightly different.
Okay.
But still has the same vibe. Which I was surprised I was surprised at Disneyland because that's what's weird. It's in Disneyland. It was cool to see that when you walk through it that you don't see any other parts of the park and you're still kind of away from that stuff. So
Yeah.
the feeling is still there.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, let's see what else. think that was really all that I think we want to talk about. So I think, anything else you wanted to?
Here's hoping that everybody has a safe New Year.
Yes.
And I'm just looking forward to see what adventure Star Wars will take us on this coming year.
Yes. 2023 seems like it's going to be pretty big. Let's see. Real quick on the comments. Let's see a couple comments from last week's. Thrawn Attic, great video, guys, and hope you had a great Christmas. Sorry to hear about the weather over there. Yeah, it's crazy. It looks crazy all over the U.S. at the moment. You guys making England look like Bahamas. Love your Christmas movie choices. Love Just Friends, Love Actually, and Die Hard around Christmas. Nice. Very nice. And then another comment. He says, love the casting of Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She is a great actress and loved her in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, I forgot about that. And season 3 of Fargo with Ewan McGregor, who is her husband. He said, I had no idea they were married, so that's cool to know. Yep. They are married now. And I actually didn't know that that's where they met. So I guess that's where they met. I never watched Fargo. So.
I've never watched it either, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Hannah. Well, I think that'll do it for 2022
Okay.
of Inside the Force. We've got, like I said, a big 2023 coming. We've got more shows. It looks like we're getting the Bad Batch. We're getting season 3 of Mandalorian. We're getting the we're getting Ahsoka, and then we're getting the Skeleton Crew. I think those are the ones that are confirmed. Rumors are probably Star Wars Visions is coming back again this year. So there's definitely possibly another Tales of the Jedi. We'll see, but lots of great content, lots of good books and comics out there that, of course, me and Hannah will cover on more Beyond the Sagas coming up. So, we've got other shows that we're still putting out there. So, again, you can hit us up on all the podcast feeds on Inside the Force every week, and then go to our YouTube channel for all of our additional shows. And if you want some extra content, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/Into the Force. So thank you to our patrons again.
Thank you
For joining this year, and looking forward to giving you more stuff for next year. Hannah, appreciate you joining me more this year. This has been fantastic. Hope you aren't going to run away.
No. You can't get rid of me now. So, no, thank you for letting me be a part of this even more. It's great.
Yes, great. And I know you've probably got some Disney trips planned. We actually just yesterday we booked a trip during spring break.
Ooh.
Going for Brooke's birthday.
Aww.
So we're going back to Disney World in April. So, yeah. And, it's great.
Yes.
I didn't realize this when we booked it, but the day we check in, or the first day we go to the parks, going to Magic Kingdom is the last day for the 50th anniversary celebration.
Aww.
So we'll get Enchantment that day, and then I think they're reverting back to Happily Ever After that. So we'll get 2 different fireworks, which we've never done. So it's pretty cool.
That'll be really, really neat.
Yeah, really neat. So I don't know. Do you got a trip planned yet?
I'm sure something's gonna be planned at some point.
Yours are very random.
They're random and they're quick, but honestly, It's just a chance to see family once a month. So
yes, yeah.
We might not necessarily go to a Disney park. We might just hang out in Orlando. So
sure, yeah. No, but I got a couple trips planned, and then we really want to do a cruise, but we haven't found the right dates for that yet. So anyway, excited about Star Wars next year. So next week we're going to talk about that. What we're excited mostly for 2023 is going to be interesting, especially on the gaming side.
Yes.
We've got some games coming out, so
Yes.
that's really a whole nother side of it that's going to be really interesting to get into. So, all right, Hannah, as always, thank you so much for joining me.
And thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you out there. Have a safe and enjoyable evening, and come back next week. Go watch The Bad Batch, and we'll be here right here talking about that, as well as all the Star Wars news and content that's coming out. So take care, everybody. Thank you again for being with us this year, and we will see you next year. May the Force be with you.